We're back.
Ta-da! So, 30s. Now we're a little colder.
A little bit colder. Really not changed how I dress that much. Still just wearing a hoodie, but the big addition for me is that I'm wearing wool, both on top and on bottom. I see you got your wool on as well. You can get it at the thrift store. You can get it at all the major retailers. You don't have to go to a specific outdoors store. One of the first articles I ever did for Tiny Fix that really blew up in a major way was called The Sisterhood of Cycling Pantsless. And a lot of times people look at me and they think I'm crazy because I'm wearing like a little skirt and it's the middle of winter. But you don't have to stop wearing dresses. You don't have to stop wearing the clothes you're comfortable with. Wool. I've got wool tights on that go all the way down to my feet. Up top, just wearing normal, not cycling specific. These are very much not cycling specific socks.
They should
be. Yeah, honestly. Got some pretty thick soled sneakers on. They're a little bit waterproof. I do like these slip-ons because I feel like rain and snow gets in through the lace holes sometimes, so I find these are a little bit more water resistant, if not waterproof. And I've got my wool sweater and a hoodie, and that's about it.
All right. Yeah, likewise, I switched into wool as well. I think we're kind of, or in some ways, we're sort of adding a layer onto what we had before, or maybe switching out that mid layer with something a little thicker. So yeah, I'm wearing a merino wool sweater that I got at the thrift store for like $2. You'll hear people talk about merino a lot. It's a really pretty thin weave of wool, so it doesn't create a lot of bulk.
And it's not itchy is the big thing.
Yeah.
Merino is not itchy at all.
But like the synthetics that we were talking about earlier, wool also has that property of breathing, and it'll carry the moisture away. So that's really important. So yeah, just a basic wool sweater. I just have like a thin button-down long sleeve top over that, and then underneath I'm wearing my base layers again. I did switch out my pants in the 30s. I switched them out with some, I don't know, some people call them trekking pants. These I did pick up from a sporting goods store. They're that same sort of soft shell material we were talking about earlier. So they're really pretty windproof. So I can wear a pair of those thin base layer tights underneath that and this, and I'm golden. And then some thicker wool socks. I'm still wearing the same shoes, although when I get down to the low 30s, I might switch over to the boots that I'll show in the next segment that are a little beefier. One thing I do think it's important for people to keep in mind is when they're switching into thicker wool socks to make sure that you have a little extra room in your shoes for them.
Oh, yeah.
If your feet get really constricted in there, it constricts the blood flow, and the blood's what's carrying all the heat to them. So even though it's all insulated, there's no blood getting to them.
There's nothing worse than just like heavy block of shoes and socks packed into it's not fun.
Yeah.
Got a little bit of accessories here.
Yeah.
This is my favorite hat. It's kind of dorky. I wish it was one of those cool beanies with the bobble on top, but those don't fit on my helmet. It's fleece lined, and the big thing for me is it's got flaps that go over my ears. If you have a hat that's like this, it's not doing anything for you. The ears are really what gets cold for me in the wind, so I like my hat. And then another accessory I've been really into in the past couple years, these are arm warmers. These are wool. And I always say that these can change an outfit like 10 degrees. Just the addition of these really does turn an outfit, for me anyway, into something that can be a little bit, go a lot colder.
Yeah, and it's a versatile look too.
And these are pretty inexpensive, and they are just so versatile. I've had them for years, and I wear them almost every day, and they're always in my messenger bag, because you never know when you just are not prepared and you feel like an idiot, and then you just pull on your arm warmers and you're good.
Yeah, that goes back to that whole point about layering, because, some days you get up and you go to work in the morning, and it's 10 degrees cooler or warmer than it is when you get off work and you're going home. Check your weather report. Likewise, this is my winter cycling cap. This one is made by a local manufacturer out of recycled merino wool sweaters. I wear my same liner gloves. If it's pretty cold, one thing I do switch to, rather than beefing up to like a bulkier glove, which just doesn't really work for me, I don't like the feel of them, I kind of invested in a nice pair of mittens that have a big insulated liner, but the liner pulls out, and so I have this windproof, waterproof shell. And the thing I really like about these is I can be riding, and I don't really need my individual fingers while I'm riding to do stuff, just the way my bike is set up. But then when I get someplace and I need to like operate my lock or something, I can just do my stuff, and then I can put them on, pull them off really quick, and I'm not struggling with individual fingers, and then they get turned inside out, and then I'm having to do all that.
And gloves are one of those things you don't need to go cycling specific. You can get the ski gloves, you can get the snowboarding gloves, but honestly, that pair of snowboarding gloves that you got on sale is fine.
All right, so anything else about 30s?
No, let's get dressed
Yeah,
up.
oh, you know what I would say, one thing I would add is the 30s are that temperature range where in some ways are kind of the most challenging, I feel like, because on the high end of the 30s you can be really hot, and on the low end you can be really cold, and right there in the middle is when, if there's any precipitation, it can be miserable.
Mm-hmm.
Only time that I don't really like to ride is when it's, 34 and it's precipitating, and you're just getting hit with like this mix of slush and freezing, and it freezes on.
Yeah, wintry mix sounds like a really delicious like snack munchy food, but it is gross.
It is really gross. So I don't fault anybody for taking the bus on those days.
Wait till it's snowing and you can deal with it. Brush it off.
All right, well, let's get into the 20s.